And we begin with the tragedy in Boston and the new details that we are learning about the bombings which rocked the Boston Marathon.
Investigators say the explosives were designed to amplify the destruction. Hundreds attended a vigil tonight to remember the victims, and all 3 people are dead. They include 8-year-old Martin Richard, 29-year-old Crystal Campbell, and a 3rd woman, a Boston University graduate student from China. Roughly 170 others are hurt.
President Obama calls the bombings an act of terror, and investigators believe that the explosives were hidden in backpacks and that they were packed with nails and ball bearings.
Authorities believe the explosives were sealed in metal pressure cookers, the shrapnel causing more serious injuries. They also found pieces of an electronic circuit board, leading investigators to believe the bomber used a timer.
The 12-block crime scene being called the most complicated in Boston history. And now, as investigators are searching it for every shred of evidence they can find, people in the city are coming together. Our Brandon Lewis is on the ground live in Boston once again tonight. And Brandon, residents who were at tonight's vigil told you that they refuse to be afraid.
They certainly do. They're refusing to be afraid, and really they're telling us that despite Boston's size, this is still a city with a very personal charm, and that's what they're rallying around tonight. The vigil broke up about 9:30 this evening, but we've still seen a pretty steady stream of people coming here to pay their respects, and you can see behind me here, candles still lit, men playing the guitar, and even some signs that are still posted up there from the vigil that happened earlier today. They're here praying for peace here in Boston and throughout the country.
I had run yesterday and got stopped right at the Mass Ave bridge. So I was running and kind of obviously heard what had happened. I had some family members at the finish line that had been pretty close. Luckily, all of them were okay, and I was all right. But just felt like I needed to be in the city today.
Runner and Boston resident Dan Corrigan joined hundreds at a vigil to pray for peace after evil struck the streets of Boston.
It's amazing to see the outpouring of support. The city's kind of just surreal today, very different than it usually is. Just very subdued. It's a gorgeous day on the Common and just very quiet.
I kind of needed this also just for closure, just to feel that, I'm not alone in all the emotions that I'm having.
Boston remains a city in shock, but also a city that's defiant, vowing not to let Monday's attack stop everyday life.
We're a strong group, strong. And I'm so proud to be living here, and of all the people who are here, they messed with the wrong people.
You mentioned you didn't finish the marathon. Do you think you'll come back next year?
Yes, I would like to. It was going to be a one-time thing, but I would like to come back and do it again, if for no other reason, just to prove that they can't stop us from doing what we do.
And tonight's vigil here at the Common is more impromptu. There is a formal vigil that is planned for later on this week. It's scheduled for Thursday. That one is an interfaith service that is planned by the state. President Obama also expected to be in the Boston area on Thursday as the investigation here continues. We're live on the Boston Common. Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.